Hello and good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Today is Thursday, which means I have a Bitcoin weekly update for you guys. The ETF got denied, and I was expecting a strong impulsive move based off of that decision, whether we get approved or denied. We in fact did get denied. However, we're still just consolidating in this tight range. So what's going on? I'm going to dive in today and we're going to take a look and give you guys my point of view on my primary as well as my secondary accounts and where I see Bitcoin moving forward with all of this confusion surrounding the market. Let's get right into it. Taking a look at the 8-hour time frame, we're first going to start off this video by analyzing my primary accounts. Now, not much has changed since the last update. We've been consolidating in this range. However, for this update, I'm going to be taking a look at a couple new patterns that I see forming. Now, like I said in my last update, I said that we were in the 3-wave moving to the 4, and I told you guys how the previous market cycle had a lot of familiarity between the one that we're riding in now. My perspective on that has still not changed. In fact, it's only growing stronger. We had this very strong bull trap form, and this came with the announcement that BitMEX was going to go under some maintenance work, and I don't know, you could call it manipulation, you could call it whatever you want. Nobody really knows what the heck happened. But once they went down for maintenance, we had this really big spike, and this candle went up to about 68, almost 6,900. However, that was a strong bull trap, and then we ended up getting a very sudden retrace back down into this range. So we're still consolidating in this range. Something that I've been noticing, or a familiar pattern, is in the last pattern we had, when we were consolidating in the 3 and the 4, we went into this little rising wedge pattern. And I'm noticing the same familiarity between the current market cycle that we're in, that this market cycle is consolidating between the 3 and the 4 wave before we go back down into our 5. And I believe the reason why we're having such a tight consolidation is a lot of times with these rising wedges, they do coil up really tight inside of this pattern. And so it leaves a lot of room for consolidation and accumulation. However, we're just going to have to wait and see how this market matures. It looks as if we are forming a head and shoulder formation, with the left shoulder being the 1 wave, the head being the top of the 5, and now the 4 wave that we're retracing in is going to be the right shoulder. Now, some targets are where I expect, if this holds true and this pattern does break this neckline down here, indicated by this light blue line, then this blue line right here is going to be my target for this head and shoulder pattern. If we can come and break support down here at about 6,000, then this is going to be my outlook for the retrace. Now, I've already casted my ladder bid down here, and that's what's indicated by this little green box. My bids are going to be as followed at 5,200, 5,000, 4,800, and then at 46. The very base, or my target for this head and shoulder pattern, actually puts us at about 44. Yeah, right about 4,400. So it's right in that same area. We're very close. We might get some wicks that come down to 44 and test that. However, the majority of my bids are going to be placed inside of this ladder that I have drawn here. But like I said, not much is going on. We're just waiting to see how this range plays out. It looks as if we could be forming a rising wedge pattern. So this is what I'm going to be playing, and this is what I'm going to be watching for my primary account. Next, we're going to be diving in and taking a look at my secondary accounts, as well as a new formation that could play out. Taking a look at the daily time frame, we're now going to analyze my secondary account for Bitcoin. This entire bear market has been a long, brutal mess. We've basically held support on 6,000, support of this wick down here, for the entire length of the bear market. Now, usually what happens in BTC's bear market is after we have the initial rally and then we go into the retrace, we go into this ABC retrace, and then at the end of the C, we get a strong impulsive move up, and then we go back in our bullish cycle. All of the previous market cycles, we had bounced really strong out of the C, and then we moved back on the upside. However, this bear market's been a little bit different, and we have had a lot of sideways consolidation. However, that sideways consolidation has never been able to break at about 6,000. We've maintained support there. We've had a couple scares where the market has tested that level. However, we've never been able to get a clear break from that. So that's indicated by this red line. It looks as if we could be seeing a rounded bottom formation. and we're slowly just coiling tighter and tighter, and it looks as if we could be at the very base of this correction. Now, what I've noticed, and this is a pattern that I've been seeing inside of the volume, this is something I updated on my TradingView, so if you're not following me on TradingView, I highly recommend that you go do that. That's where I'm going to be posting all of my analysis, as well as my Bitcoin updates, as well as all of my updates for whatever videos that I do, whatever coin reviews I do, it's all going to be on my TradingView, so make sure you go follow me there. Anyways, I've been seeing this pattern play out with the volume. At the base of this C leg, we had this huge green buy volume come in. Now, if you analyze previous market cycles in Bitcoin, at the bottom of the C leg, you always have a brand new influx of buy volume come in. As you can see, that's indicated right over here. We had this ABC retrace, and at the end of the C, we had this new batch of buy volume come in, which started the next rally to follow. At the end of this ABC correction, at the end of this C leg, we had the same thing come in. We had this new set of buy volume, and then what happened was instead of going straight back up, we consolidated sideways. We had the liquidation of Mt. Gox trustees, so there was a lot of different things that came into play on why the market just kind of consolidated sideways. During this whole sideways consolidation, we've had declining volume indicated by this red line. Now, we've slowly been coiling tighter and tighter and tighter until about right here when we came down and tested basically the very base of the C leg at about 6,000. And it was during this time that the volume sort of changed a little bit. We more or less just kind of flatlined down here and stabilized, as indicated by this yellow line. Now, what we're starting to see now with this most recent move right here was we're starting to see a whole lot of buy volume starting to come into the market, as indicated by this green line, which it could mean that we are now in a transitional phase between a bearish market cycle to where the volume stabilizes and we're at this mid-ground where we're deciding whether the bulls are going to take over or whether the bears are going to assert market dominance. And it looks like now we're starting to see a lot of buy volume come in with this most recent move. This could mean that we're in a transitional phase where we're transitioning out of a bearish market and back into a bull market, and this is going to be indicated by this green line here. So this is what I'm going to be watching out for my secondary count. It looks as if we could be in this rounded bottom formation, and we're slowly coming towards the end of that. As you can see, this sharp ABC retrace was really quick and sudden. It didn't take very long for us to finish this ABC. Every time we retrace in this sideways consolidation, the degree of trend gets longer and more sideways rather than the sharp ABC retrace we saw up there. The ABC retraces since haven't been nearly as sharp. As you can see, the degree of trend is slowly lessening and it's declining as the sellers are slowly becoming less and less inside of this market. Eventually the sellers are going to get soaked up, and then the buys are going to be so great that we have a flippening between the supply and the demand, and then we're going to move back on the upside in this bull market. But as you can see, we're just slowly rounding out, and it looks right here, if we don't go lower in this cycle, if this is actually the ABC retrace onto support and we're about to go back up higher, then this looks like we could have just flatlined right here with this wick. We're more or less just consolidating right here, kind of sideways. And so this could mean we're flatlining and we're about to go back up and we're going to continue to consolidation on the upside, or we're going to end up breaking through this and come retest these lower support levels down here. But this is what I'm going to be watching out for, guys. This was a pattern that I've been noticing inside of Bitcoin. It will be really interesting to find out whether this is going to actually play out or not. Overall, the Bitcoin ETF was denied, so I think that's like 7 that we've had so far in this bear market. I don't know. I can't tell you exact numbers. What we're going to want to see here over the next few days, I believe that we're going to break this range, whether it's going to be on the upside or whether it's going to be back on the downside. We're going to have to just wait and see how this market matures for now. This was some patterns that I've been noticing. I wanted to keep you guys updated on what I'm doing, as well as where I'm seeing this market going and what I see playing out in the future. If this secondary account holds support, I am expecting us to rally, and then the next big move will be, can we break out of this previous all-time high of this move at about 8,400. If we can break that and get on the upside, and hold support there, then that's going to bode very well for the market as a whole, because that's going to point that we're going to move back on the upside in this bull market. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, always remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more updates in the future. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.